This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
New on Curiosity Stream. Are we close to building machines that are almost human? And can new technology give us superpowers? Find out on Super Sapiens. And in 1919, a British composer wrote the longest and most complex symphony in history. Conductors tried to perform it, but failed, declaring it cursed. Now a group of musicians will attempt the impossible, if they dare, on Curse of the Gothic Symphony. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Well, this was a very interesting weekend, this Labor Day weekend. I was out hanging with my friends. We decided not to go to the Penny Arcade Expo, which is what we always usually do.
Okay.
But, at least me and the people that I'm hanging with, we've just decided, you know what, we're going to stay away from cons for a little while longer. Just our thing. We get that people do what they want to do.
Did your own little mini con?
So we did our mini con, yeah. One of our friends who lives in Bremerton, she was really kind enough to basically open her house up to us, and she's got a pretty nice house to be able to go and have multiple areas of gaming, and we thought, well, that's what we would be doing at Penny Arcade Expo, is just be gaming all weekend.
Yeah.
So we went there instead. And, so that's what we were doing, and while that happened, my phone, I saw that I was getting a FaceTime from Sarah, and I thought, well, she'll text me, but she'll never call me, and then let alone, I don't think she's ever FaceTimed me.
Well, in all fairness, my daughter sometimes gets my wife's phone and accidentally FaceTimes me as well. I mean, it's just something I think that daughters do.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought it was.
Like age difference.
Well, I figured that Sarah would be partying because that's what she likes to do when I'm out of town.
So she's like, I'm drunk, I'm going to FaceTime Dad.
Well, either that or she fell on her phone, because she falls a lot. So I thought, well, all right. And this was late. This was like 11:30 or whatever. And I thought, all right, well, I'll check it out just to be sure.
11:30 at night on what, like Saturday or Friday?
It was Friday night.
Friday night, okay.
Yeah, 11:30 Friday night. And then I see this face, and luckily it was a happy-looking face, because, you never know sometimes. But even then I thought, there's no way she'd FaceTime me bad news.
Unless she wants to have you see the tears.
Yeah.
Well, which is something I would do.
Right. That seems like that's like extra dramatic. Oh, yeah. Dad, look at my face.
Which is so my jam, the running mascara.
Yeah.
But that's not the case.
No.
Yeah, so instead, she flashes this bling ring in front of me on the camera and announces, it's official, she is engaged.
Hey, Sarah.
J-Rubs popped the question.
So now Jay doesn't need rubs. Wow. Is that his new name or no?
Wow.
Jay doesn't need rubs.
That is, boy, this was a great moment.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought.
Oh, is that really the first thing you thought? Okay.
Yeah, instead of congratulating us.
First was congratulations, but a very close second. So he put the ring on your finger.
He did Friday night. He took me out to dinner, and his friend happened to be there, quote unquote.
To get pictures.
Then Joey actually happened to be there at the same time, coincidentally. Just want to say, Joey and J-Rub's friends are terrible actors.
Why? What happened?
Terrible. So J-Rubs and I are sitting at this table enjoying like a drink before we order our food, and Joey just like slowly walks by our table and looks at me and is like, oh, hey guys.
No.
What are you doing here? And
Why?
I'm like, Joey, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh, just meeting up with some friends to get some drinks. And I'm like, okay, what friends? He didn't have any answer to that.
Johnny Rubber's friends.
He was like,
Yeah.
my friends.
Joe, what the hell? Okay, didn't you think this through?
Johnny Rubbers didn't give me any lines. I'm a lines man. I need to know what I need to say.
Lie.
He tried.
I tried to act nonchalant about it and kind of walk past the table, and I was like, "Oh, George, Sarah, what are you doing here? I'm meeting some friends to get dinner." And my sister,
Who's this George, and why is he hanging out with Sarah and Johnny Rubbers?
sorry, Johnny Rubbers.
Okay, that's
See?
Johnny Rubber's real name.
Joey's terrible at this.
I can't do it. I need to know. It was so bad.
So were you supposed to be spotted, or are you supposed to be hiding in the background until the question happens?
Well, I was supposed to wait behind the corner and then kind of walk by as essentially the champagne would show up, so it kind of all worked out where there wouldn't be this big questioning from Sarah. But Sarah's too good at it. She knows. She looks me dead in the eyes when I show up and goes, "What friends?" Angry at me, I should not be there.
You should have been like, "I'm not Joe. I just look like him."
Sorry,
that would have been a better line.
Yeah, and then he's like, my friends are running late, so I'm just going to have a drink with you guys and just sit down. And I'm like, wait, I didn't agree to this. I didn't agree you could have a drink with us first. But it was super, super cute. And then he did it.
Did he get down on a knee?
Well, we were all sitting at this table, and he pulls out the ring and says, so? And my first reaction is, are you not going to get down on one knee? And so then the waiter, who's also J-Rub's friend, moves the table so he can get out to get on one knee. Because you got to get on one knee. That's the whole thing.
So far, this is engagement Zilla is what I'm hearing.
So then he gets on one knee, and then I think he just said, "Will you marry me?" I kind of blacked out. I kind of just was in shock, and then just put out my hand as it was shaking incredibly. And then he put the ring on, and then when we sat back down, he was like, "Well, so is that a yes?" And I was like, "Did I not even answer you?" Oh, that's so embarrassing. Yeah. Well, yes, of course. And then everyone cheered. And
oh, big question, because I remember we talked about the potential of this happening one day, and you guys said that you were talking about rings, and one of your biggest things you said was that you wanted to make sure that you got your nails done before you got proposed to. Did you get? Okay, I'm guessing that you didn't.
Okay, there is a little bit of a story. It's ridiculous. I had my nails done before we went to dinner, but a few of my nails had fallen off, the fake nail. So we were just going to super glue them back on. No big deal. I've done it before. I know it's super ratchet, but I'm a cheap ass. So I was like, let me just hop in the shower before we glue my nails on. When I was in the shower, one of the other fake nails came off and went down the drain.
Where'd you get these nails from? Wish? It didn't even last a day?
No, they were 2 weeks old.
Oh.
Yeah.
What the
J-Rubs
hell?
was really extending me having my nails done and was like, oh man, they're going to all fall off soon. I better do this fast. But yeah, so literally right before we went to dinner, one of them fell down the drain. So then I just took them all off. And he was going to cancel the entire thing because of it. But
oh, wow.
But then because he had Joey meeting us and his friend meeting us.
And Joey couldn't tell a good lie, so now things got weird.
Yeah, Joey would probably just randomly show up there anyway, even if it wasn't happening. But yeah, it was amazing.
So, okay, quick question, BJ.
Yes, sir.
So, did Johnny Rubbers talk to you ahead of time? Did you know that this was happening? Did you guys?
No, not the day of. I mean, he came to me way before just to get my permission, but I didn't know it was happening at all.
Okay, so he just made sure I got your permission.
And I'm happy I didn't know. I wouldn't want to know that was going on until after the fact, because I would have blown it. You don't tell me secrets.
Yeah, you spoil a lot of stuff.
You've never spoiled anything.
No. He's learned from your situation, Steve, and the whole baby thing. He's learned. Don't tell BJ anything.
Somebody would just texted, Steve, I really wish you would have jumped in there and ruined the moment like BJ spoiled your child announcement. That would have been great if my wife's like, where are you going on a Friday night? I'm like, I'm going to meet up with Sarah and Johnny Rubbers. I'm going to ruin their proposal.
I'm going to Kanye this.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you finish, J-Rubs.
But I would have loved that.
So this is a life-changing moment not for all three of you in a way. Like now, Joe, you have a brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Future brother-in-law. BJ, now it's official. You're going to have a son-in-law.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I know. That I've kind of, I mean, we've celebrated, it's so funny, we just celebrated the 3rd anniversary of him moving into the house. So I feel like I've had a son-in-law because he's done stuff, he's fixed stuff, he's been super, super handy. So I've kind of thought, man, you're going to be my son-in-law whether Sarah says yes or not. I'll find a way to keep you in the family.
Kick me out instead.
Yeah.
So the question is, BJ, when are you moving out?
Yeah, right. Isn't that the wedding gift? Is the house?
Thanks, Danny.
Yeah, the sad thing is, Danny, you're not the first person to ask that question.
Who else has asked that question?
Thank you to our listener, Kevin, Kevin K, who always is kind enough to tweet us.
Stick to your crumble cookies there, Kevin. Don't ask those kind of questions.
Well, Kevin. Kevin has always been one of those, he's always a wise guy, that Kevin, ever since we met him. And that was the first thing he tweeted when he heard about the news. Is like, hey, when's your dad kicking you? When you kicking your dad out of that house? Yeah, so.
I mean, it could happen.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen? I got plans for this house, and they don't involve me being out of the house.
Sarah, did you pick the ring, or did he pick it fully on his own and all that good stuff?
As much as I would have wanted him to pick out a ring for me and be able to read my mind, no, I totally picked out. Well, I kind of designed it. It was his mom's diamond, and then I picked the setting. So I knew exactly what it was going to look like. And I love it so much.
You just stare at it all the time now?
All the time. It's so sparkly. But then I'm also afraid to kind of wear it. I'm like, can I wear it in the shower? Can I wear it working out? I don't want to ruin it. I've never had a piece of jewelry so meaningful. That and expensive.
And it looks, she had it designed into a heart, and you'd think, okay, this is going to be cheesy looking because, diamonds, you know, the heart stuff, but Sarah's been heart ever since I've known her. But boy, they really did a nice job. This is a pretty looking ring, even, considering that I was like, I don't know if it's going to look good in the shape of a heart.
Don't hate the heart.
But I thought it was really cool awesome. That, when you get a family member's ring and somehow repurpose it or reuse it, because I did that with my wife. She really loved her grandmother's ring, and so I got that grandmother's ring and repurposed that and made that her engagement ring as well. So I think it's really cool to have that kind of tradition. It's nice that her mom gave up the ring to do it. I mean, his mom, I should say.
Super nice.
Yeah.
Super sweet.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I thought maybe it was something that was passed on. Oh, I'm happy to hear it. I didn't know. I don't know.
Oh, no, she's still kicking it.
Okay.
She's still alive.
Did he sneak in the house and steal it from her or something? No.
You're right, Steve. Usually it's when someone's passed.
That's what I just assumed.
You can have their ring. For someone to still be on the planet and say, you know what, this was my engagement ring, I'd like you to repurpose it for my son's wife. That's a cool move.
Yeah. Super, super nice.
Yeah. So I guess his parents like Sarah too.
They love me. They're so excited to have me as part of their family.
Oh, so she's still married as well then.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just like you said, I don't know. I just assumed that someone takes someone else's ring, either the marriage. I'm happy to hear everyone's alive.
No, you're right.
Still
in a relationship.
We're all together.
You're right, Steve. I've never heard of somebody still married, still alive, giving away their engagement ring. But this was a cool thing she wanted to do for her son and his wife.
So does Dad then have to go buy a new ring for Mom?
Yeah, well, that's
what you doing there, man? That's money out of his pocket.
I don't know. I don't ask those questions. I just take the diamond.
You're right, Steve.
That's a good policy, Sarah.
Yeah.
Do you have a date set? Have you guys figured all that crap out?
Lord, people have been texting me, asking me that, and I'm like, what do you mean a date set yet?
When are you guys having children? There's a lot of questions.
Right?
I think the biggest question first is if we're going to have an engagement party. I think that's the first maybe step.
I didn't even know that. I never had an
thing. I thought you just did when your brother showed up at the bar.
Oh, yeah, Steve, yeah.
Yeah, no, I kind of want to.
I didn't know those were a thing either. I'm gonna go broke is what's gonna happen probably.
Well, don't forget that I am ordained and I will come at a slightly discounted price.
Oh, that's delightful.
You're so sweet. Thank you.
It'll be my gift to charge you less.
Oh, that's the gift. Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, it keeps on giving.
Yeah, there you go. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Get ready for Bridezilla, guys. I'm just kidding. I'm going to try really hard not to be.
Oh, you were already engaged with Zilla. How many of you? Yeah, I feel like,
So you got to plan the bachelorette party that we're all invited to, right?
Yeah. Woo! My friends are already talking about it. I think they're most excited about that part.
My liver already hurts just thinking about it.
I feel like the state of Washington should put out a warning for everybody.
Oh,
just to
they
let
will.
them know.
Yeah.
Oh, we're probably going out of Washington.
Oh, like Vegas or
They're
Utah?
thinking Miami.
What?
Miami?
Wow. What? These bachelor parties are insane.
Yeah.
Miami.
I mean,
All right. Well, listen.
I'm not planning it, but
Yeah. Well, I'm
I'm
not
down
going.
to get down in Miami.
Wow.
Yeah, you're not going unless you want
But he's
to.
paying.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm going broke. This is a beating. Well, happy whatever.
One time I said, BJ, you finally have the son that you've always wanted.
Wow.
Joe.
Ooh, wow.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, my acting is the proof, though. I can't really blame him.
Well, you know what? Joey's he's a good kid.
Now it's his turn.
Oh, yeah, right?
Yeah.
No pressure. Do you feel less pressure or more pressure? Because when my brother had kids, I felt an overwhelming sense of pressure being lifted off of my shoulders. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, at least even marriage too. I'm like, at least my parents got one of the kids got married and had kids. So if I don't, it's not the end of the world.
I would definitely say less pressure.
Yeah.
Especially since I was waiting for Johnny Rubbers to do this for so long. I'm just like, all right, it's all over. You know, they got this whole thing for 2 years.
Yep.
I can go incognito now.
Yeah, parents can experience one of their kids getting married. You're good.
Yeah.
I feel like we've been good with our kids, that we're not those kind of pressuring people. I can't speak for my wife, but
I think it's a self-imposed pressure. I don't think it's a pressure that parents ever put. I mean, some do.
There are a lot of parents that put pressure. That's why I never wanted to be that guy. I've watched Sarah's friends' parents. Oy, 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 it's a beating. You know, when are you going to do this? When are you going to do that? When are you going to have this? And I'm just like, I don't want to be that kind of parent. It's just like, let my kids have their life. They don't need to do anything but just be them.
I'm kind of like the opposite. Like I will ask you, like, don't you want grandchildren? Don't you want me to have kids?
She's putting pressure
and
on
he's
me.
more like, no, we're good.
We're fine.
I like my weekends free. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't want you to come have me babysit some little kid drooling all over my games. I don't need it.
You'll love it.
Yeah, okay, maybe. Hey, speaking of droolers, we got a preschooler that just shared something with a stranger at Target that this adult says was life-changing information from a preschooler. What was it? You'll hear from her at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
New on Curiosity Stream. With superior armies comes superior weapons. How has innovation mechanized the battlefield? From bullets to battleships and everything in between. It's machinery of warfare. Plus, from the gross to the gourmet. See how that in-flight meal lands on your tray table. On secrets of your airline food. It's all on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Your kids will be saying,
"Please, 5 more minutes. I can't believe I did that."
and
"Look how high I can bounce."
Spring Free is the world's safest trampoline, the place where stories are made. The innovative design boasts no springs, so you know you're safe. Go ahead and create the greatest stories you'll tell your friends. We're back in stock. Get it while you can. To learn more about the world's safest trampoline, visit springfreetrampoline.com.
Mom, come watch us.
According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, 1 in every 5 children killed in traffic crashes in the U.S. was a pedestrian. That's why 3M is working alongside local governments and NGOs to help improve crosswalk visibility and traffic markings in school zones, in a worldwide initiative to provide kids with a safe walk to school and access to the education they deserve. To learn more and take action, visit 3m.com/schoolzonesafety. 3M Science, applied to life.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. You're probably going to want to go to the BJ and Migs page of KISW.com to check out this video because it's being shared virally via the TikToks. And it's about how this little girl in Target gave this woman some life-changing advice about farting.
I just got out of Target, and I was standing in line behind a mom and her daughter waiting to check out. The girl was goofing around, messing around. She's showing me her preschool folder. Out of nowhere, she looks at me and says, "Today I figured out that if I hold the sides of my butt open, my farts don't make noises." I started laughing. The girl started laughing, and the mom whips her head around like she was mortified. I said, "Don't worry about it. This is life-changing news for me." Frankly, I was a little annoyed I hadn't have thought about this yet in my life.
Oh, does everyone know that you could do that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because it was only I'd say about less than 5 years ago that I realized that. And boy, was that a game changer.
Yeah, it was. I found out later in life. It's not like I've known this for a long time.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a game changer when I found out. But I was an adult when I found out.
Why don't they teach that at school?
They really should.
Like in home ec or whatever. I don't know, whatever class.
Well, home ec, you don't want people learning about farting because, they're making some good stuff, aren't they?
And math. I don't know.
I think it's because... it doesn't make a noise, but it's pretty obvious what you're doing. There's no subtle way to do it and not let people know you're farting.
But for me, as a guy who, sometimes I'm in the other room and I'm ripping butt, it's nice to know that there's a way to kind of mask the sound. Not always, but sometimes to be able to, but it gets to the point where sometimes my wife is on to me because it'll still make a sound. It'll be more like a poof or, and she's just like, "Are you doing what I think you're doing?" And I'm like, "No idea what you're talking about. That's totally Lulu."
Yeah. That's right, that damn dog.
Oh my gosh.
That darn Tatum. You gotta start throwing you gotta start throwing the shade towards the kid now.
Yeah. Imagine that's how you find out though from a toddler or a preschooler or however old, 3 or 4 year old at a Target.
Yeah. And for a kid to be able to figure that info is pretty brilliant. That way they go, I can commit these crimes and no one will know.
I feel like somebody's listening to this right now, and this is the first time they even thought of that, and they're attempting it right now.
It's very possible. Because at some point, I found out, and again, I was an adult, and like you said, 5 years ago for you.
Something like that. Less than 5 years. It hasn't been that long. I never even thought once to do that. And I was like, this is what a genius move.
Yeah. Yeah, because sometimes you go, look, I don't want to be yelled at for this, but what am I going to do? And here's the solution.
But then sometimes the visual of you just grabbing your butt cheeks.
Yeah.
You can't really do that at church.
No.
The sound's probably better than doing that visual.
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, that's tough. I hadn't even thought about that.
Well, Rose in Tacoma brings up a good point. Most women know about that because of the first time you sleep over with a new dude. Oh, Vicky's nodding her head like, yes.
Oh, wait.
Oh, so you ladies were keeping this information from us.
No, little ladies don't fart, remember? Wink, wink.
Sure.
That's why we don't talk about it. But it's you could either go one of two ways. You could either open up or close it tight. But if you close it tight, you might end up with a trumpet sound.
A ripple.
Yes. So that's why you got to kind of
you ladies,
do what you got to do. You don't want a guy to hear you fart. I can't. I
don't know. I mean, it turned you into more of a human.
Not on the first date.
Up until now, I thought you were a robot, but you ripped ass, so now I know you're cool.
Right?
I can trust you.
It is funny because guys, the guys are always doing it, but women just don't want you to know or don't want to even have you be part of it.
Someone says if you wear a thong, they don't make noise either.
Really?
Yeah, that's not sanitary. I'm just picturing
farting it happens.
But a thong makes it's worse. It's just because it's
so I shouldn't wear a thong.
You should stop wearing a thong, Steve.
I've never thought of wearing one until now.
It makes it worse with sound, you're saying? Or
no, just in general, hygienic wise. It's not very hygienic.
Because you're wedging yourself, basically.
Oh, well,
congratulations. Hey, someone says I'm trying to work one up right now. I've never heard of this.
Congratulations to you.
I love that.
So I feel like we're going to have an uptick in this area of Washington of bean sales today. Everyone's just going to run to the store for some Franken beans and just to try this out.
Well, I'm not necessarily going to buy something to force it to happen. I think it's naturally going to just happen. I don't think I need to go to a store to go buy Franks and beans.
Why not?
I wish it was that easy. That all I had to do was just not go to the store to buy Franks and beans, and it wouldn't be any gas today. But I know me. There'll be gas.
Have you ever used any of those gassies or Beanos? Do they work?
It did one time because I had to go to an event and it was just not stopping. And I'm like, I got to go figure this out. And I'd heard about it, but never tried it. And I think it did work. Gas X, I think was the product.
Gas X, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
But it took a while. It took a little bit. I thought it would be really quick. But it was like, oh, I should have taken this maybe an hour ago. Oh boy!
Did you have to take it daily, or is it just like
just for that
on those instances where you felt like you were going to rip butt?
I think it's for the moment, or at least for a certain window of time, if my memory serves. But by the time you realize you need it, it's too late because I think it takes a little bit for it to kick in. That's what I felt. I was like, oh man, unless I just know, you know what, I'll keep these forever and I know what I'm about to do today, so let me pop this in. I know I'm going to have, a Mexican or something.
Well, yeah, or I'm going to go do some family stuff, and I don't want to be the guy that's just tooting all the time.
Yeah, it's good.
Timmy the tutor.
Timmy the tutor.
Oh, here comes Timmy.
Rev, have you ever attempted to use any of that Beano stuff? Or?
No way, man. I let my farts fly.
All right. I didn't know if maybe like you were trying to give it a whirl.
No, he doesn't.
I'm for the artistry of the whole thing.
Yeah. The fartist.
Yes.
The fartist. Yeah, so congratulations to all of you. That little child gave you everything you needed to know. Yeah, and that's just some of the things that you can do as a child. BuzzFeed has given us a list of things that people say they did as kids, and then later as adults realized were very, very dangerous.
Oh, man.
Oh. Yeah.
I probably have a lot of things I could put on this list.
Gosh, yeah, right?
Lawn darts.
That's on the list.
Horseshoes, because we had a horseshoe pit at my grandparents' house.
I don't think I see horseshoes on there.
At least horseshoes will hurt, but they don't have like a pointy edge.
You're so heavy.
They are.
You guys are actually talking about games. I was just going to say lighting things on fire.
Yeah.
I did that a lot too.
I used to steal matches from my grandpa, and then we'd go and light stuff on fire.
Oh, just fireworks in general. Like just
fireworks,
unsupervised fireworks. Like we would get the bottle rockets and point them at each other. You give someone a head start. Like, okay, run. And then they'd run you give them like a 10-second head start, and then all of a sudden you start aiming it at them, hoping that you can hit them.
Once we became teenagers, we were banned from getting the Saturn missile battery because it had basically it was like 20 or 30 rockets in a little box. You'd light it and they'd just shoot, and we would just use those instead of bottle rockets at each other.
And that's why fireworks is on the list.
Yes.
I don't know if this is on the list, but we did. I think we called it was like skitching or sketching, and it was you'd get a deck of a skateboard without the wheels on it during the winter season, and you'd kind of hold onto the bumper of the school bus. Or actually, it was this public transportation bus. That was our school bus. And you'd see how long you could go before you fell off of it. Totally dangerous, but we all did it because we just thought it was the coolest thing ever because, you got a ton of snow in New York. And so you just get behind it and you were just kind of skating and surfing on the thing for a brief period of time before you just fell off.
Oh, man. Yeah, that could go the wrong way if the bus stopped.
It's kind of surprising that it never did. When I look back on it, nobody ever. I mean, you scuffed up a knee, you hurt yourself, maybe an elbow, but nobody ever walked away with massive damage. We never had to call our parents and be like, "Oh boy, how are we going to explain this one to them?"
That's amazing.
And you were right; it's called skitching. And there was actually a Sega Genesis game where you were on rollerblades trying to grab onto cars to do this.
Oh. Yes,
that's insane.
That was more summertime.
Yeah, they're the famous opening scene. One of the opening scenes for Back to the Future. Marty's doing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The other one with the buses that we would do, you try and get on, so if you didn't want to pay or you just thought you were being adventurous, you jump on the back and you put your feet on the back bumper and hold on to it wasn't like a window in the back. It was kind of like the like shutter blind kind of vibe to it. So there were things you could hold on to, and there'd be three of us holding on, thinking we're the coolest kids in school because we're too cheap.
You really actually did that
all the time?
Wow.
Yeah, city living. You know what? Rural people just don't get it.
That just boggles my mind. It's how do people not stop the bus and yell at you and you get an insane amount of trouble?
Well, the bus drivers wouldn't be able to see it.
But nobody around is saying, "Hey, you've got a bunch of kids strapped to the back of your bus."
Someone else's kid, someone else's problem.
Wow. Okay, sure enough, I guess.
Dude, that was the thing to do in junior high school. We were all doing it. And again, it wasn't like you would do it for an extended period of time. It was maybe a couple of stops, and because we didn't live very far from wherever we were going. But everybody was trying to do that kind of stuff at that time. You would just be going with your parents in a car, and you look at a bus, and there'd be some kids hanging on the back.
That's so funny.
Just stupid.
Did you guys ever do stair sledding?
No.
Oh, get a tray or something like that?
Or no, the sleds that you would use in snow, toboggans or whatever, and then you would put them at the top of the stairs and go down the stairs as fast as you could.
Oh, in Home Alone.
Kind of like that, yeah.
No, I didn't do it with a sled, but I did it with a box.
We did it with a pillow.
Nice.
Like a big, thick pillow that we had on one of our couches.
Yeah, I guess we did do that with pillows. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Nothing bad also. Like, I look back on it, like, these were all dumb things, and I'm sure our parents were mortified when they found out we did it, but no broken bones, thankfully.
My mom was really pissed off when I did the stair sledding because I was like a week or two out of surgery for my appendix, and she just freaked out. Because it's like, you have stitches in you. What are you doing? I'm like, it was fun. Why wouldn't I?
And there you go there.
Exactly right.
There's the conversation. Yeah, fooling around on staircases also on the list.
Somebody said we used to do it back in the 70s, that whole thing on the bus. We called it bumper hopping.
Ah, see that, Steve?
That sounds cool. I still don't want to do it.
Anybody? This one on the list is really what gets me. Anyone ever catch and play with spiders?
No.
Yeah, that's on the list. That's something that people did.
Not really.
Lily does.
When they were kids.
She plays with spiders?
Wow.
Yeah, any kind of bug. She loves bugs, so she'll just go and try to get a jar and put them in and keep them alive for as long as she can.
I would be pretty stoked when like a ladybug would crawl on my finger. I'd bring it into the house.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is amazing. But like nothing ever happened from it.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't like put it on a leash or anything, although I maybe would have tried.
Put a bug on a leash.
Right. Walking around like a little string.
One of the, this is funny, this is something that kids apparently do, but I was told at a young age you don't do. Though I had an adult do it in my hotel room one time to try to light his cigarette. He decided to somehow light his cigarette. I didn't have a lighter or any matches, so he found a paperclip and stuck it inside the electrical outlet to light his cigarette.
No.
Yeah, and he was drunk, and he shorted out the whole place.
Oh my God. I thought you were going to say, like, I remember people doing like on a stovetop.
Yeah.
And that would always, like, you'd singe like an eyebrow or something like that.
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing? Oh, no, wait, he got a paperclip that was on one of on the table in the hotel room and just said, I can figure this out. And he did. He lit his cigarette and then shorted out the entire room. And then I was like, okay, I need to call the front desk. Do you guys have a switch box? I don't know.
I'm surprised not worse stuff happened, though, by him.
Well, I know. He was, it may have shocked him, but he didn't feel it because he was trashed. But that's what kids do. That's another thing that kids do a lot of, apparently, sticking things in electrical outlets. I knew at a young age you weren't supposed to do that. And,
I remember the cartoons, like, showing stuff like that. And, like, Tom would, get zapped and it would look terrifying. So I knew better not to do that stuff.
I don't know if you guys had, we had a lot of above ground pools when we were growing up, too. It's in the winter season, like, they would freeze over. And so sometimes we would, like, try and, like, jump on them and dance on them. You guys
that's on the list. Frozen, people going on frozen water, ponds, whatever. Oh, yeah.
See, I wouldn't imagine. I'd be too terrified about a pond because you don't know how deep that would go. At least with like a pool, you're like, okay, this is 4 feet tall.
You're right.
You know what I mean? Like, the worst is going to happen is I'm going to be really cold for a second, but I'll be able to get out and survive.
You'd survive the water. You would not survive the whooping your mom gave you. Why would you do that? Are you dying? You're going to get sick and die. At least my mom would have whooped my ass.
Oh, the good news, though, is you'd have hypothermia. You wouldn't be able to feel it.
Yeah.
It's true. Everything is numb.
Yeah. So really, it's a good crime to try. I mean, in every which way you can, you'll be saved from any kind of real damage. Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one right, but took too many guesses.
What gas makes up approximately 74% of the sun's mass?
Methane.
No.
Butane.
No.
Air.
No.
Hydrogen.
No. Yeah.
Too late.
It was no, but it was yes, but then no, because it was too late. Yep. You want a shot at BDC? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We'll play Beat Migs. We'll do that at 8:45 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's a question from a listener. My house is currently in foreclosure. I've stopped making payments. What can I do to save my house?
If you're already in foreclosure behind on your mortgage, you can stop the foreclosure by filing a bankruptcy. There's different types of bankruptcy. Chapter 13 can help you catch up on your house payments if you're behind. It would mean that you'd have to start making your house payments again and catch up on the amount that you're behind over 5 years. You could also take off or strip off your second mortgage, which would help you to reduce your housing payment every month, especially once you're done with the plan and done catching up on your first mortgage. We could also try to buy you some time by filing a Chapter 13 case. Filing a Chapter 13 would definitely stop your foreclosure.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. And thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
New on Curiosity Stream. Are we close to building machines that are almost human? And can new technology give us superpowers? Find out on Super Sapiens. And in 1919, a British composer wrote the longest and most complex symphony in history. Conductors tried to perform it, but failed, declaring it cursed. Now a group of musicians will attempt the impossible, if they dare, on Curse of a Gothic Symphony. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
The world needed a safer trampoline. Dr. Keith Alexander, inventor of the Spring-Free Trampoline, wanted to bring the joy of trampolining to his daughter. His wife said they were too dangerous, so he invented his own. Spring-Free Trampoline is the world's safest trampoline, with no springs or hard edges. Now, parents can have peace of mind that their kids are outside jumping safely. To learn more, visit springfreetrampoline.com.